Hi there, this is Steven with Karma Astrology. I'm coming to you live from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Today is Friday. It is April 23rd, 2021. It is about 10:15 a.m. here in Santa Fe. We have about 6 or 7 hours left in with the moon in Purva Falguni, as you see over here. So I'm going to talk about that throughout the day so that you can get an idea of what's happening throughout the rest of this day until about 7-8 p.m. here in Mountain Time Zone, the end of the day in the East Coast and whatnot, and then I'll talk about the next nakshatra tomorrow. So Purva Falguni lies in the middle of Leo. If you don't know what this is, Purva Falguni is one of the 27 Indian constellations, or Vedic constellations we call nakshatras, and these are basically their ancient zodiac from the Indus River Valley civilization, the Vedic culture, and they kind of overlay on top of the 12-sign zodiac that you see around me, all those planets in the different signs, those boxes. Each of those boxes is a sign, as you can see, with Aries up there, and Taurus and Gemini. So the moon today is in Leo, and the moon's the fastest moving planet. It goes through a sign in about 2.5 days, and it goes through a nakshatra or Indian constellation in 1 day. So today we are in Leo again, which means that we're feeling inspired, we're feeling a little larger than life. We might be feeling more connected to what lights us up spiritually and where our passions are, and feeling more connected to pursuing our path, our own unique identity, and kind of living through that on a day like today, because Leo is about the sun energy, and the sun is the only planet, or it's not a planet, but the sun is the only star in this solar system, allegedly. It's arguable that there's a dark matter star or something like that. People have alluded to 2 stars being in this solar system, but I'm not going to go into that here. Either way, the sun is this basically power plant, and it relates to our heart and our cardiovascular system and our ability to connect to our spirit and kind of feel that independent heart energy come through us. And now when the moon is coming into the middle of Leo, Purva Falguni, we start to feel a little bit more of this sense of enjoyment and relaxation, and it's a time to really kind of absorb and uptake all of the things that we've done and the things that we've accomplished. And so it's definitely more of a day of relaxation. That brings me to the deity and symbol. I like to talk about the deity, or the tutelary archetype, the energy that is associated with each of these nakshatras, as that's how they kind of defined the energy of each of them. And then they also talked about symbols, and they have different powers and all this stuff. But I like to talk about the deity and the symbol to give you a good idea of what it's all about. And then I kind of wrap it up in strengths and weaknesses, and good auspicious activities and inauspicious activities to do when the moon is in each nakshatra. So the deity is called Bhaga. Now Bhaga is kind of similar to Bacchus, similar name at least, similar vibe as the Greek god Bacchus, who is the god of enjoyment and pleasure, and Bhaga is that god as well in the Sanskrit, culture, or the Vedic culture. So it has a lot to do with Bhaga is about receiving pleasure, being able to enjoy ourselves, being able to take it easy. And there's a lot of different gifts that you could say Bhaga brings us on a day like today. There's a lot about auspicious timing and being able to kind of work with what we have based on what we've done in the past and the skills that we've developed, and kind of just the ability to receive and allow, the right timing to come about, and find that right spot in order to fulfill our objectives, or whatever we're trying to do. There's always a good kind of divine timing that comes with every aspect of our lives, and when we try and force things, then we get into trouble, and when we kind of procrastinate and delay on things, then we get into trouble. But if we're just kind of focused on where we are in the moment, trusting that the universe is there, that Bhaga is there to help us out, to give us what we need right when we need it, then oftentimes it seems like life just flows with ease and a lot of grace. So that's kind of a nice part about a day like today. You might be, just something could happen in your life that seems external, and it's really just kind of the results of your good karma and, the meritorious deeds that you've done in the past. Oh, let's see. In terms of, yeah, Bhaga gives you luck, good fortune in these kinds of ways. There's a lot of enjoyment and relaxation and pleasure, and that kind of brings me to the symbol of this nakshatra. The symbol is the hammock, and so the hammock is what we do, what we set up when we're ready to relax, when we're ready to take it easy. It's this kind of temporary structure, but it's something that, if you can call it a structure, but it's something that we use to just find, we typically put a hammock out once we get to our campsite, or once we get to a beautiful spot in nature or a nice park, or so we have to kind of do work in a way to get to that mountaintop or that campsite or whatever we're, the hike into the campsite. So there's this kind of reward aspect to the hammock that, the reward is being able to take it easy, being able to potentially rest on our laurels, which isn't the best thing to always do, but it's a nice day to uptake our wins. And you can look at it that way. Like, you've worked hard in the past, you've done a lot of things, it felt like you weren't maybe making progress or getting the results that you were looking for, and maybe on a day like today, those results come to you a little bit easier. In general, it's a nice day, to get in a hammock or be in a lounge chair, and, you could have a drink, you could do whatever you need to do to relax a little bit. Don't go crazy or anything, there's a lot of balance that needs to be sought here, where, it is the results of our deeds from the past, and if we have worked hard in the past, then they're good results. If we haven't worked too hard in the past, then they might not be such good results. So it's something to be aware of, that, we do have karmic implications to all of our actions. And, maybe that hammock is this beautiful, luxurious pillow-filled hammock, or maybe it's fallen apart and we fall through it as soon as we try to get into it because we haven't done the work to, string it up nicely, or, what I'm trying to say, that kind of metaphor there. So yeah, a lot of pleasure, a lot of prosperity can be enjoyed on a day like today. In terms of where it is in the sky, I'll show you that. Let me just switch the screen over here. I like to pull up a sky map if you haven't seen these before, just so you can get an idea of what part of the sky this is in. So I said it's in the middle of Leo. As you can see, there's Leo. And the moon is kind of in that middle section. The first day, or yesterday, it was towards the head of the lion, Regulus. Oh, and of course it switched back. So let me just move it back. There we go. And I'll zoom out so you can get a little bit of a better idea of where that is with regards to, there's the Big Dipper up here. There it is, Big Dipper. And so it's just kind of below that, below the cup, or the, whatever, the ladle of the Big Dipper. And that might be an easier way to recognize it. But Leo's a pretty recognizable constellation. These stars are very bright. And even if you can't recognize that, there's this super bright star, one of the brightest stars in the sky, Spica, or Spica, whatever, over here in Virgo. So if you look for that, it's a little hard to see Cancer, but it's below the horizon anyways there. So there's the moon in Leo. Now let me go back, and I will talk about the auspicious, our kind of strengths and weaknesses on a day like today, and then auspicious and inauspicious activities that we can perform on a day like today. All right. So, in terms of the strengths, today's a good day to do creative things. It's a good day to learn new things. It always is a good day to learn new things, let's be real. It's a day to be charismatic. We might be feeling extra charismatic and just more full of confidence. That kind of taps into that sun nature, the confidence, or maybe lack thereof. So something we can definitely work on, or try to improve if we have self-esteem issues. Today's a great day to work on your confidence and to really try and feel it out and let it come naturally. It's a day in which we feel like our charm is at a height, you know. We can, kind of put on a nice show and please other people or be pleased. It gives us a sense of leadership, and since things are kind of nice on a day like today, it can make us a little more at ease and open-minded and kind and sweeter in our speech. And in terms of the weaknesses or the shadow issues, it can make us a little too impulsive, a little too indulgent, of course. We can really, really get carried away with, all sorts of stuff like drugs or just a sense of laziness if it goes too far. We can be a little selfish because we can focus on our pleasure and ourself and our need, because that sun energy is really about our uniqueness and our focusing really on ourself. So that sun created energy connected to Leo and connected to Purva Falguni is going to make you feel a little more focused on your own self, and maybe we need to balance that between ourself and others. It can make us vain. It can make us a little unmotivated and lazy, like I was saying. Maybe we can tend to be a little, slide on our morals a little bit more. So these are things to definitely be aware of and to not fall prey to. In terms of favorable activities, it's a good day for romance, sex, marriage, if that's on the ticket for you. It's a good day if that happens to be the day that you're getting married or connecting with other people. But any sort of coupling and relationship aspects, it can be nice for that, because everyone's focused on pleasure and enjoyment. So a good day for sensuality, enjoying good food, just being in the moment and really finding that true sense of instantaneousness in the world that gives us this aliveness and a sense of pleasure that comes, and joy that comes from being in the moment and being right here, right now. Be here now, as Ram Dass would say. So a good day to seek pleasure a little bit, not to go too far. Definitely, enjoy yourself, watch a movie, any sort of stuff like that. It's a good day for buying things, purchasing things, for singing, dancing, and then I mean those are generally the things that it's a good time for. You can kind of use your own judgment as to how that suits you, and obviously just don't get too carried away with that sensuality and the sensual nature of a day like today. In terms of unfavorable activities, it's not the best time for new activities and starting new things. It's more about receiving the benefits of the things that we've done in the past. It's well, it's kind of just a good day to focus on the positive in a lot of ways. If we focus too much on healing our wounds from the past or our issues or our problems, either psychologically or physically, then we can get a little too dragged down, and it's not really the best day for that. So yeah, have a good day, enjoy yourself, have fun. It's definitely a fiery day because other than where the moon is, you can see all this stuff up here in Aries. Aries is that kind of cardinal fire sign, so it deals with our ability to start something new and kind of attack something in a way, because Aries is related to Mars, and Mars always wants to attack something, and usually that's the things that we perceive to be weakening us. So it's, watch how aggressive you might be, or how you might have a tendency to argue or fight or confront other people. As I've talked about, Mars being in Gemini over here, Mercury being in Aries, they're exchanging signs, and Mercury is about our intellect and our communication and our mental processes, our thought processes. And Mars is that inner defensive kind of reptilian nature, that animalistic instinct in us that wants to survive and protect and defend the things that we love. So we can really use our speech, use our communication to defend the things that we love in a not so pleasant kind of way all the time. So it's nice to maybe even take that energy from Bhaga, from where the moon is right now, and use that kind of pleasure and joy and ease as a kind of a balance to the angst and the aggressiveness and those kind of uncomfortable protective feelings that we are probably getting really in touch with as the moon, or sorry, as the sun, Venus, Mercury, and Uranus are all in Aries. If I can point to that spot, it's a little mirrored, so it's hard for me to figure out where the hell to point. But that being said, everything else is pretty much the same. Enjoy yourself. Have a great day. Take some time to nurture yourself, pamper yourself. Maybe the ones that you love. Have a good time with them. And peace and love. We'll see you next time. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and let me know just in general if there's a time of day that works better for you for this, because I'd like to do these regular at a certain point in time, in each day. And usually that would probably be in the morning here in the US, but I'm still trying to figure out, if my audience is from Australia or the US or New Zealand or, England, I don't know. But in general, I'm going to try and do it so that you can use this energy throughout the day and really get some good value out of it. So yeah, if you have a specific time you'd like, leave me a comment below. Otherwise, subscribe if you'd like to see these on the reg, and give me a thumbs up, and I will catch you next time. Peace and love. Take care.